With us now is Beth French. Welcome to the show, Beth.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
My goodness, you have had an amazing journey. Tell us about Against the Tides.
Well, I mean, that's a huge question. So Against the Tides is a documentary film that is going to be released in America on the 2nd of March in time for International Women's Day on the 8th of March. It's going to be on demand all across the country via Gather. So yeah, it's an incredible kind of, well, I'm just an ordinary house mum from a very, very small little village in southwest England. So, you know, a documentary made about these epic swims that I managed to do around the world. It seems insane. It seems crazy, but it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have.
And you did it because you wanted to bring, you wanted to celebrate your son's life. You wanted to show him that all things were possible. What started that? What started your want and desire for that?
Sure. So, I mean, Against the Tides is a story about my attempt to swim 7 different channels around the world. And I was the proverbial water baby. So I grew up pre-digital cameras, and there's not a photograph of me pre-5 that's not in a bucket of water or the kitchen sink or a puddle. So water's always been there with me. But when I was 10, I got mysteriously ill. And throughout my teenage years, I would have these peaks and troughs of extreme illness, which couldn't really be explained by any blood test. And at the age of 17, I ended up in a wheelchair. So I was in a wheelchair and bedbound for about a year, and then eventually got a retrospective diagnosis of myalgic encephalomyelitis, or chronic fatigue syndrome. And so that kind of changed my life, really, because I didn't know if I'd ever recover. But figuring out how to drive my body, I built this compulsion. I've discovered that I felt compelled to test my boundaries and to live as much as I possibly could at any given time. However much I could do, I wanted to do that and a little bit more. And yes, coming from being a water babe, I wanted to walk into the water and keep swimming until I got someplace else.
Someplace else. There was a children's story, and it was all about someplace else. It was Mr. Rogers, and there was like King Friday and Prince Tuesday and Queen Sarah, and they were always looking, you know, going someplace else. You certainly did go someplace else. What an extraordinary, I don't even know how you did it. And you're here, obviously alive and well, to tell us about it. But it's extraordinary. Has there ever been anyone else that has accomplished what you've accomplished or attempted it?
I'm the first person to even try to swim all 7 in a single year. And that really came about because when I swam the English Channel from England to France in 2012, I loved the process of it. And actually, I thought that would be the only time I ever did anything so crazy in my life. But actually, because I loved it, I wanted to do it more, and I felt I hadn't really pushed my boundaries. I hadn't tested myself enough. So I realized that actually, if I can swim one channel, because of my history with ill health, I wanted to prove that I could do recovery, to recover from one channel in time to do another. And having spent quite a bit of my youth when I was recovering, kind of traveling around the world and falling in love with traveling and what that taught me, I wanted to teach that to my son as well, that, you know, there isn't just one way to live a life, that you can live all these different kinds of lives and explore different ways of being, doing what you love.
And have you had an opportunity to sit with your son in the movie theater and see it on the big screen?
I have, yes. The first time we watched it, we actually got to see it on a small screen in our house, just as a sort of a tester, to, you know, sort of prepare us both for what it was going to be like. And we had to keep stopping because he kept getting a bit emotional. And he sort of looked at me at one point and said, "It's quite sad seeing your life played out in front of your eyes, but then good television needs big emotions, Mum." And it was just so touching to kind of go,
I want a bumper sticker, Beth, that says that.
my son is full of bumper stickers. He's amazing.
He's a bumper sticker man. Well, you know, Beth, so many stories like yourself of perseverance, they need to be told. And I kind of stumbled upon you, and I was so excited. So I met Christiane, as I said, on this new app called Clubhouse, and you know, the UK and people in the United States and people all over the world were like just chatting one day, and I invited her to come on the show, and she goes, wait. She goes, I would love to do your show, Donna. She goes, but you have to meet my friend Beth.
Oh, that's incredible. That's so kind.
So your story, I love the graphic. I love the graphic where it shows all 7 channels all over the world. What, without giving away too much of the movie, hopefully it has a happy ending. Obviously, you're here, so it does. But
Yeah.
was there a moment that you maybe wanted to kind of be like, that's it, I just can't? And what?
You
And
understand,
what?
okay, so a channel swim,
Yes.
you take apart your personality as you go into this. So you're swimming through the night. You're often, I mean, my longest swim ever to date, my longest channel is 24 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow.
Without stopping. So you don't touch the boat, you don't get a rest, nobody can touch you. There's no flotation, no propulsion, no insulation help, no nothing. If I get stung by a jellyfish, I've got to deal with it. If I get scared, I've got to deal with it. So in every channel, there are moments where you think, what on earth am I doing? And I think channel swimming is unique because you're face down in the water all of the time. You have 30 seconds every hour maybe where you sort of lift your head and take your drink before you're in your own head again. So dealing with your own head, your own headspace, your demons is exactly what it's all about. And I think one of the things that is interesting about having the film come out at this, in these times where nothing is normal for anybody. We're all living these crazy lives where, we are trapped in our lives in a way that we've never really experienced before. We're all having to experience resilience and relentlessness in a whole new way. So yeah, I mean, certainly for me, having done the channel swims, I feel I am using the lessons I learned on those channel swims in my daily life, coping with lockdowns and uncertainty. And yeah, so there are always times where you think, I wish I could end this. But there's always a reason why you keep moving forwards.
I love that. That resonated right through the core of my being. My ancestors are from Cornwall, England, and I haven't got to visit there yet, but I will be there soon. That's the
That's
first
one of my
place.
favorite places in the world.
Cornwall?
Do.
Their last name was Stevens, Stepheens, and Harvey, from St. Denis area in Cornwall.
Okay.
So maybe I'll come over and maybe we'll go visit there together, and we can
And
walk. I would love that. Do you want to go for a swim? Beth, I'm not as strong as a swimmer as you are, but maybe I would at least go put my foot into the water. Thank you so much. Happiness to you. I know that this film is going to be a huge success in the States, and continued happiness in your journey.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, wait, one other question. Did you grow gills by chance?
I hide them well.
You hide them well. Take care. It was nice to visit with you. Bye.